Hi guys, good to be back. We're talking actual zombie preparedness, militaries, ketchup as medicine, flamethrower-wielding dogs. Yes, really. Some of these ideas were dangerous, some were hilariously bad, and others, well, let's just say common sense took a coffee break. Today we're uncovering 10 insane facts you'll be yelling, "Wait, is that real?" Ready to question everything? Let's go. A man legally married a dolphin in the 1980s. The rumor likely stems from a man named Malcolm Brenner, who in the 1970s claimed to have had an intimate relationship with a dolphin named Dolly. He even wrote a book about it called Wet Goddess. But despite the sensational headlines, there was no legal marriage, just a controversial personal story that got twisted over time. In reality, animals can't legally consent to marriage, and no government recognizes such unions. The myth probably grew from other odd ceremonies, like a woman who had a symbolic dolphin wedding in 2013, or an Indian man who married a dog for superstitious reasons. The Eiffel Tower was originally meant to stand for only 20 years. It's true. When it was built for the 1889 Paris World's Fair, the tower was meant to be a temporary showpiece, a dazzling symbol of French engineering. Its permit even stated it would be dismantled in 1909. But two things saved it: science and popularity. First, engineers realized its steel frame was perfect for radio antennas, which were crucial for the new era of communication. Second, Parisians who initially hated the tower grew to love it. By the time its expiration date rolled around, the Eiffel Tower wasn't just useful, it had become the heart of Paris. Ketchup was sold as medicine in the 1830s to treat diarrhea. It sounds ridiculous, but it's true. In the early 1800s, a doctor named John Cook Bennett claimed tomato ketchup could cure indigestion, diarrhea, and even jaundice. He turned it into pills and syrups, and for a short time, people actually bought it as a cure-all. Of course, it didn't really work. Tomatoes have some vitamins, but they're not miracle drugs. The trend faded when people realized it was just flavored vinegar. But for a few bizarre years, ketchup wasn't just a condiment. It was supposed to be a health tonic. Canada once went to war against Denmark over a tiny Arctic island. Sounds like a joke, right? But it really happened. The dispute over Hans Island, a barren rock between Greenland and Canada, began in the 1970s. Instead of fighting, the two nations waged the most polite conflict in history. Danish troops would plant a flag and leave a bottle of schnapps. Canadian soldiers would remove it, raise their own flag, and leave whiskey. This went on for years, a boozy battle of pride. Finally, in 2022, they declared peace and split the island in half, ending the world's most Canadian-Danish standoff. So next time someone says geopolitics is all serious, remind them, sometimes even wars are settled with a handshake and a good drink. Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel. In 1952, just a few years after Israel was founded, its leaders offered Einstein the presidency as a mark of respect. He was Jewish, a global icon, and a vocal supporter of Jewish rights. But here's the twist. Einstein turned it down. He said he was honored, but didn't have the natural aptitude for politics. Instead, he stuck to physics, joking that equations were easier than people. So while Einstein never led a nation, this little-known moment reminds us that even geniuses know their limits and that sometimes the smartest move is saying no to power.
McDonald's once made bubblegum-flavored broccoli to get kids to eat veggies.
It's a wild story that went viral, but it never actually happened. This bizarre claim surfaced around 2014, claiming McDonald's coated broccoli in sweet flavors to make it kid-friendly. But it was pure internet fiction. No evidence exists of this experiment. The rumor likely started as satire, playing on fast food's struggle to market healthy options. That said, McDonald's has tried making veggies more appealing, like apple slices with caramel dip or Happy Meal cucumbers. But bubblegum broccoli? That's strictly in the too weird to be true file. U.S. government once tried to weaponize bats by strapping tiny bombs to them. It sounds like a bad spy movie, but it's true. In 1942, a dentist named Lytle Adams pitched a wild idea. Attach tiny incendiary bombs to bats, release them over Japan, and let them roost in flammable wooden buildings. The military went for it, testing thousands of bats in secret experiments. Some even escaped and accidentally burned down a New Mexico airfield. But by 1944, the military scrapped the project, partly because the atomic bomb seemed more practical. Still, the bat bomb remains one of history's weirdest, almost weapons.
Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than to the building of the pyramids. Cleopatra, the legendary Egyptian queen, lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than she did to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pyramids were built around 2560 BCE, while Cleopatra ruled Egypt around 30 BCE. That's a gap of 2,530 years. Meanwhile, the iPhone debuted in 2007 CE, only 2,037 years after her death. So if you ever feel like ancient history is one big blur, remember, Cleopatra's reign is far more recent to us than it was to the pyramids. Nintendo was founded in 1889 as a playing card company. In 1889, long before video games existed, Nintendo was founded in Kyoto, Japan as a humble Hanafuda card company. These were traditional Japanese playing cards used for games and even gambling. For decades, Nintendo made cards, even trying odd-side businesses like taxi services and love hotels, before stumbling into toys and finally, in the 1970s, video games. That pivot changed entertainment forever. Sweden has a venomous shrew so deadly its bite can kill a grown man. The Eurasian water shrew, a tiny mouse-like hunter, has toxic saliva that paralyzes insects and causes excruciating pain if it bites you. But before you panic, no, it can't kill you. While its venom is real, humans only face hours of swelling and agony, no recorded deaths. From military bats to ketchup medicine, history shows human creativity doesn't always come with common sense. Some ideas were dangerous, some ridiculous, and others just make you wonder, who bought this? But every wacky failure teaches us something. Some even led to real innovations. So next time you hear a weird invention, ask,
Could this work? Your crazy idea might be the next big thing, or at least great trivia. Truth is stranger than fiction. Stay curious. See you in the next one.